Most people think they're stressed because of money. But what if money isn't the real problem? What if the real problem is the constant pressure to appear successful? Because right now, millions of people are trapped in a financial performance competition they never consciously agreed to join. And it's quietly destroying their future. People are making more money, buying more things, upgrading their lifestyle. Yet somehow, they feel more financially anxious than ever before. Why? Because modern life created a dangerous illusion. The illusion that looking successful matters more than becoming financially free. And once you see how deep this goes, you start noticing it everywhere. Welcome back to Smart Money Compounds. Today we're talking about the hidden psychology behind modern financial pressure and why so many people feel broke even when their income increases. Because this isn't just about inflation. It's not just about wages. It's not just about the economy. This is about identity, status, comparison, and the invisible financial race that millions of people are running every single day without realizing it. Stay until the end, because one mindset shift in this video could save you years of financial stress. And honestly, most people will never figure this out. There was a time when success was easier to define. You knew your neighbors. You compared yourself to a small circle of people. Life moved slower. But social media changed everything. Now, your brain compares your life to celebrities, influencers, entrepreneurs, strangers, fake millionaires, or edited lifestyles. Every single day. And the human brain was never designed for this level of comparison. That's why someone making $40,000 feels broke, $80,000 feels broke, $150,000 feels broke. Because comparison expands faster than income. The target keeps moving. The moment people upgrade financially, they're exposed to a new level of lifestyle pressure. New clothes, better restaurants, luxury travel, expensive apartments, premium subscriptions, nicer cars. And suddenly, the life they once dreamed about starts feeling average. That's one of the most dangerous psychological traps in modern finance. Humans adapt extremely fast. What once felt luxurious eventually feels normal. And once something feels normal, your brain stops appreciating it. That's why people keep upgrading endlessly. Not because they're evil, not because they're stupid, because the brain constantly recalibrates. And corporations know this. That's why modern marketing rarely sells products anymore. It sells identity. Think about it. Most advertisements are secretly asking, who do you want to be? How do you want others to see you? What kind of lifestyle do you represent? Because emotional purchases are far more powerful than logical ones. People don't buy expensive watches just to tell time. People don't finance luxury cars just for transportation. People don't overspend on apartments just for shelter. They buy emotional meaning, status, validation, identity, recognition. And when society rewards appearances more than financial discipline, people begin sacrificing their future for short-term social approval. That's the trap. A person can look wealthy while being financially fragile. And today, that's becoming normal. There are people making six figures with no emergency fund, credit card debt, car payments, personal loans, and constant financial anxiety. But online, they look successful. And that illusion pressures everyone else. Modern society turned lifestyle into competition. And competition creates spending. Think about how often people buy things because of boredom, stress, insecurity, loneliness, comparison, or social pressure, not actual need. That's why emotional awareness matters financially. Because if you don't understand your emotional triggers, your money disappears automatically. A stressed person spends differently. An insecure person spends differently. Someone desperate for validation spends differently. And the scary part? Most people never slow down long enough to notice the pattern. They just keep upgrading their lifestyle every time income increases. That's why raises often fail to create freedom. Lifestyle inflation consumes the difference. The apartment gets bigger. The car payment increases. Vacations become more expensive. Daily spending rises quietly. And little by little, higher income creates higher obligations instead of greater freedom. That's why some people making less money actually feel more financially peaceful than people earning far more. Because peace does not come from income alone. It comes from margin. Financial breathing room. The ability to survive unexpected problems without panic. But modern culture trains people to eliminate margin completely. Everything today encourages maximum consumption. Buy now. Upgrade now. Finance now. Pay later. And the system loves financially dependent people. Because financially dependent people keep consuming, keep borrowing, keep working, and keep chasing. Over and over again. That's why many people secretly feel exhausted all the time. Not physically, financially, emotionally, psychologically. They're maintaining a lifestyle that requires constant performance. And deep down, they know one major emergency could destabilize everything. That creates invisible anxiety, even among high earners. One of the strangest truths about money is this: sometimes the people who look richest are under the most pressure, because appearances are expensive to maintain. And the more your identity depends on looking successful, the harder it becomes to slow down financially. That's why real wealth often looks boring at first. Real wealth is usually controlled spending, patience, consistency, investing, delayed gratification, and emotional discipline. But social media rewards the opposite. Flash, luxury, attention, consumption. That's why financially disciplined people often feel out of place in modern culture, because they stop playing the status game. And once you stop trying to impress strangers, your financial life changes dramatically. You stop buying things emotionally. You stop upgrading constantly. You stop confusing appearance with freedom. And that's when wealth building actually begins. The biggest financial flex is not looking rich. It's owning your time. The person with low debt, investments, savings, flexibility, and peace of mind is often wealthier than the person desperately maintaining appearances. But society rarely teaches that, because consumer culture depends on dissatisfaction. If people became content financially, entire industries would suffer. That's why your attention is constantly attacked. Every scroll says you need more. You are behind, your life is average, or your success isn't enough. And if you absorb those messages long enough, you start spending emotionally without realizing it. That's why awareness is powerful. Because once you recognize the psychological game, you start seeing through it. You realize not every upgrade improves your life, not every luxury creates happiness, and not every purchase creates fulfillment. And most importantly, you realize freedom matters more than appearances. That's the shift. The people who quietly build wealth think differently. Instead of asking, "How can I look successful?" they ask, "How can I become harder to control financially?" That question changes everything. Because financially free people are difficult to pressure. They can leave toxic jobs, survive emergencies, avoid desperation, make calmer decisions, and think long-term. And long-term thinking is becoming rare. Modern life trains people to chase immediate comfort constantly. But wealth requires resisting emotional impulses repeatedly. That's why financial discipline is really psychological discipline. The ability to tolerate delayed gratification, temporary discomfort, slow progress, and invisible growth. Most people quit because the early stages of wealth building feel unrewarding. Nobody claps when you invest consistently, avoid debt, skip impulse purchases, and build savings slowly. But those quiet decisions change lives over time. Compounding rewards consistency far more than intensity. And the people who understand this stop chasing shortcuts. They stop chasing appearances. They stop trying to look rich before becoming secure. Because they realize something most people never learn. A peaceful financial life is more valuable than an impressive-looking one. And honestly, that realization might save you decades of stress. If this video changed how you think about money, that means you're starting to see the psychological side of wealth building most people ignore. Because money is never just math. It's behavior, emotion, identity, habits, pressure, and environment. And the people who master those things usually win financially in the long run. If you enjoyed this episode from the Financial Psychology series, like this video. Comment "freedom" if you're done chasing appearances. Share this with someone trapped in the lifestyle inflation cycle. And subscribe to Smart Money Compounds for more psychology-driven wealth content. Because real freedom doesn't come from looking rich. It comes from needing less approval and building more control over your future.